Hello, welcome to Super Pants Gaming. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I've got an epic haul of games from a charity shop in Huntingdon. So you may or may not realise my last CEX £10 challenge was actually in Huntingdon, and that was literally just the start of our day sort of thing. After doing the £10 challenge, we actually picked another Megadrive game up, which is sort of similar to the Black Country Games Fair, where I picked a Megadrive game up as well recently. It's quite rare that I sort of buy Sega stuff, so that was kind of awesome. But I'm going to show you that in a little while. It's only a cheapy Megadrive game sort of thing. It's not one of the sort of big hitters or anything like that. But I just kind of figured this would probably be the right video to sort of put it on after I show you the charity shop stuff. So Huntingdon's only quite a small town, to be totally honest, but there's quite a lot of charity shops in the centre. So the first couple weren't ever so great, and then I went into this other charity shop and they had a row of games, and it was really weird. There was like half a shelf full of literally FIFA 13, and then like the odd 11 and 12 sort of thing, and a couple of Wii Plays, Wii Fits, that sort of thing. And then in the middle there was a copy of Ben 10, Alien Force. Now, I don't know anything about this. I know it's not a very expensive game, but all the games were 50p. And when I'm out charity shop hunting, it's kind of weird, but sometimes it just sort of feels good to sort of grab your first one sort of thing. And I thought, I don't know anything about Ben 10. I've got no idea about this game. On the back it says it's co-op, so my sensible adult was like, give it a go, it might be alright. And I think we're going to do that. So for the sake of 50p, that was our first pickup of the day. And it sort of started the ball rolling. It sort of creates a sort of good feeling in your head sort of thing. That it's like, yeah, okay, we're going to be getting some stuff today. And then the next three charity shops we went in, I think it was three or four, absolutely nothing at all. So coming towards the edge of the town, there's Oxfam shop, and it's Oxfam shop that it does all the books and stuff, sort of does books and media and that sort of thing. It's mainly books. So I went in, and they used to have a little row of video games, and I couldn't find it. So I said there were three people behind the till. I said to them, I said, hi, I'm probably barking up the wrong tree, but I don't suppose there's any chance you've got any video games about. And the chap said, oh, we used to put them on a shelf down there, and no one ever bought them, so we got rid of them. He said, but I might have a couple of bits out the back. What is it you're looking for? And I said, well, kind of anything in a way, sort of PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, that sort of stuff. And he said, okay, bear with me a couple of minutes, and I'll go and have a look what we've got. So I stand there, had a little bit of a chat with the other guy behind the counter and stuff, and he said, oh, that guy's the manager and stuff, and yeah, so he might know where they are. I don't know if we've actually got any sort of thing. And I was expecting the chap to come back with like a sort of another shelf full of FIFA 13 or Wii Fit and that sort of stuff. And he came back and dumped this on the table, and I was like, oh. And I was like, now that's interesting, because the top game is a Pokemon game. And yeah, and I was like, oh, yeah. Now, each of these games actually had the CEX price on. I'll show you here, for example. This is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Darkness. And each of the games, someone had put the CEX price on a little post-it note. You can see that there. And that was basically on the front of the cases. So it sort of looked like that. And I was like, okay. I was like, that's awesome. I was like, yeah, I'd quite like that. So I sort of put that to one side and said, okay. And then the next game was another Pokemon game. However, this one didn't have the post-it note on. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? I opened it up, and this should be Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. However, inside, I don't know if you'll be able to make this out. It is... Ooh, not really. It's Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Alarmy or something. I need my glasses on. But yes, so I said to the guy, I said, that's a bit of a shame. I said, because it is a Pokemon game in a Pokemon box, but I said it's not the right game sort of thing. So I put that sort of to the side. I was like, okay. And then there was a Mario Kart, and I was like, this is the pile that keeps giving sort of thing. And that's complete in really nice condition, and that had £20 on. And I was like, okay. And I'm starting to think to myself, these aren't going to be cheap. But there's a couple that I want, and one of those is Yoshi's Island DS. So, unfortunately, also doesn't have the manual, and that had the CEX label thing on as well. And I was like, oh, okay. And the guy said to me, he said, oh, I don't know who's put the CEX price on. He said, but, we won't be getting that for them. And I was like, okay. I was like, that's cool. I don't quite know what you want. The next one was docks. And I was like, okay. Don't want that. Not fussed by that at all, to be honest. Even my sensible adult wasn't totally into that. She's got Nintendogs and stuff like that, but she looked at that and she was like, nah, pass on that. I was like, okay, cool, pass on that. And then the last thing in the pile was a sealed PS4, semi-sealed, should I say, PS4 game, which is Life is Strange. Now, it's sealed, however, it's not sealed at the bottom here, this bit, and the case is damaged. So I don't know what's happened to this, but it sort of looks like it's been dropped or something. So it's got, the case is sort of broken there, sort of thing. And I looked at it and I was like, it's sort of semi-sealed, but it's damaged, so it needs a new case. So it's basically open. And I thought to myself, I've got a funny feeling it's only about a £5 in CEX. So I was like, yeah, I'll probably pass on that as well. Albeit it's a game that I probably wouldn't mind, but it's probably quite easy for me to get. So I said to the guy, I'll be totally honest with you. Yeah, I imagine you're probably going to want more than I'm going to be willing to pay for these. But, what are you thinking? I said, I'd really like those two. The rest of them I'm not as fussed on, but, what are you thinking? And the chap turned to me and said, how about £20 for the lot? And I looked at it and I was like, ooh. I was like, okay. Now, in my mind, I was kind of thinking to myself that those two, I'd like to pay a £5 each for them. That was sort of what I was hoping for, get the pair of those for a tenner. Because I actually want those, I actually want them in the collection sort of thing. And then, when he said £20, I thought to myself, well, the Mario Kart, that's got to be worth a tenner. That'll trade in for a tenner, I would have thought. And then the rest of it is sort of, whatever. So, yeah, so I was like, yeah, okay. So I paid 20 quid for the whole lot. And I think that's probably our second best pickup of the whole year, if I'm totally honest. My best pickup of the year was the South of Scotland tour that I did, which was quite a while ago. I know a lot of you, or a few of you, may have seen that video, and that I came out with, I think, about 20 PS1, PS2 games, and that was absolutely awesome. But this is my second best pickup of the year, without a doubt, to be honest. It is a shame that the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue team isn't like the right cartridge, or it's the wrong box. You know what I mean? It's a shame that isn't a matching pair type thing. But yeah, for what I've paid, it's an absolute bargain. And I didn't realise until I got home. We got home, sat at the table, I actually started having a little look through. Life is Strange. I'm pretty sure this used to be about a £5. And what I didn't realise is on the back of it, it's actually marked up and they've got it as $14.99. And I presume that that's from before it got damaged. So maybe it was $14.99 and then it got dropped or something, so they've stuck it out the back. I don't know. But I said to my sensible adult, I said, $14.99. I said, blimey. I said, that seems a bit steep for that. I looked it up on CEX. This is a £20 game. So I don't know when that's happened, to be totally honest. But yeah, this will be getting open. This will be getting a new case and put into my collection. And yeah, I'll be hopefully playing this next year, because I've got like a sort of a trophy thing that I'm going to be doing next year. And this should be ideal for it, because I hope that this is going to be a relatively easy platinum. I think it will be. But I know this was really well received. I've never played it. So yeah, quite pleased to be adding that. I had no idea about the value, genuinely thought it was about a £5 game, and very nearly passed on it. So there you go. And I think the moral of this as well is it always pays to ask in charity shops, because both of my biggest hauls this year have been when I've asked in the charity shop, I don't suppose you've got any video games, sort of thing. I think if you don't ask, you don't get, because all the stuff on the shelves that you find, it's like, you know, that's that's the best of a bad bunch, sort of thing. And it's like, that's what you get on the shelves when you ask, just occasionally. Yeah, you end up with stuff sort of more like that. So yeah, there we are. So massively pleased with that. Brilliant haul. And I mentioned earlier the Megadrive game that we got from CEX. It's a game, my sensible adult sort of took a shine to it, to be totally honest, because she's really nostalgic for the original game on the Mega Drive that she used to play back in the day. And the game, Micro Machines 2 Turbo Tournament. And looked at this was £10, which I thought was fine. For me, I like the spines to be nice and neat, and that spine is really nice. It's not faded at all, which is good. So, which you can't see because of my naff lighting. But yeah, this is complete in relatively good condition, to be honest. So, and it's one of those weird carts with the extra controller ports on. Now, I don't know. Do any of you guys know how many other games have got this? I know there was, I think it was Pete Sampras Tennis had it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's my mind. I'm struggling to think of any others that actually had this, the weird cart with the controller ports on. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Yeah. What other games have got the weird carts? So that was a Codemasters thing, wasn't it? So yeah. So there you go, Micro Machines 2, another Mega Drive game added to the collection, which I'm really pleased to do. So that's 2 Mega Drive games in the last fortnight, which is sort of unheard of from me, to be honest. So yeah, but massively pleased. My sensible adult is, we've not played this yet, so but she's absolutely chomping at the bit to give this a go. So I think that'll probably be later tonight. Yeah, and fingers crossed it's awesome. I'm sure it will be. So I know the original's awesome, because we have played that. We played that a little while ago. Yes, so anyway, that was our day out in Huntingdon. Absolutely amazing day. It's awesome when you come back with a load of new stuff, and yeah, absolutely love it. So anyway, guys, remember that you're awesome. Please like and subscribe and all that sort of nonsense. And I've been Soup. You're amazing. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.